Hi, welcome back. So this is an extension of the previous tutorial whereby we created these tables. One was department, employee, skill, and employee skill tables. So now in this session we're going to look at how to create how to insert data into these tables, and we see how the relationship is working out. So now this is still our workflow, or the diagram which was created by DBweaver. It's the same thing. The steps we went through, almost the same thing. Same steps you could go through if you're working with with Workbench. So now let's go to how to insert data into our tables. So if I go to the department and click on it and right click, I go to generate SQL. So now you can do an insert. So an insert, it creates for you a preview of the SQL script which we're going to use. So I copy this script and I go to our database, highlight it, and right click and say create SQL editor. I go to SQL editor, then open SQL script. So I'm going to create a new one and paste our code there. So now what we're going to do, so here remember we said the department ID is as an auto increment. So let's cross check and make sure that's right. See, go to department, I want to see properties. I go to, so you can see it's an auto increment, so we don't need to have that added. So we can go away with the department ID. We basically remove it. We insert the name, because remember our department table has got ID and name. So we remove the ID, and we go also remove here. So the query is, let me write it afresh. So insert into department table. So now we want to the columns, so we are inserting into the columns, column name, then values. So the values we are taking in, so the department, remember we had said we have got sample department, which is dev department. Maybe I can say software, software engineering department. Just let me use the short form. So now, after, for it to look nice, so having it in a new line, it's also okay. Can put this in capital for you guys to various. Yeah. So now, and you cross terminate. So here this is an insert statement into our table name and the columns. Let's say I had another column, let's say location of let's see, why it's refusing, because it's not found. So it's actually the DBweaver is able to point to our department table, so it can't find this. But let's say we had, let me add also location. Location maybe in the building, can say maybe upper floor, can add location and save that, execute. So this should this should stop complaining. Yeah, so this should stop complaining. It's able to identify that that column is existing, and our location, maybe upper floor, upper floor. Is that, yeah, upper floor. So that's so what I mean here, let's say now let's say also here it had some other, let me add another data type. So as I'll put in an integer, maybe I can put zip code, which I think shouldn't be there, but anyway. So let me use an integer as also one of the attributes and save that. So now if I add zip code, remember zip code we have saved it as as an integer. So all attributes that are strings, they have to be in they have to be in quotes. So but integers, for them you don't need to put a random code, so you don't need to put in quotes. So integers, leave them like that. So now let me click run. So if I click run and go to our department table, go to our data, you know that this is for switching to C properties, this is for checking out the data, this is for the diagram. So if I refresh, should have our data into the department table. So now let's also look at inserting data into the employee table. Remember the employee has got, if I go back to our diagram, has got the department ID, which is a foreign key. So let's see how that one is done. If I go to the employee, right click, I do generate query, insert. So it will create for me a preview of the query, how it should be. Copy it and go back to our script. So you can actually keep reusing this, just remove the previous code and paste it. So here the database name, since you already selected, this query is running under under our database. Somewhere you see, if you see the script description, it says it has already pre-selected for us the database, so we don't need to have this. You can remove that. So if you go to the DB itself and right click and say editor, you don't need to have to mention the catalog. What I mean by the catalog, that's DB that you're working with. Just remove that, it will automatically query that very DB. So the employee ID, we don't need that because it's auto incremented. If I go back to our employee table, sorry, the department table, and go to with department table, you can see this ID. We didn't write it there, but it was able to be auto created by the DB Weaver. So now if I remove, after removing the, remember there was employee ID, it's an auto incremented, so we don't need that. Also remove it here. Remember when I talked of integers, you don't have to do the quotes, just remove them. And also for this, we don't need the primary key. So if you count, we have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So meaning we have to have these values. So each value goes in a position of this, and this, this and this, this and that, this and that. So you have to make sure the positioning. Okay, let me put it this way. If I remove the first name and put it there. So meaning the last name will be the one in first position, the first name will be in second position, email will be in the third. I can also interchange whatever position I may. So I can leave it this. So here last name, maybe I can say OPO. So this will take up the last name, then the first name James, then the email. Remember, this is for this is for this is for this. So email, I will take in opio james at gmail.com. so this is just random user. I can use an underscore, I just leave it like that. Phone number. So phone number, our phone number is also, it's if we go to the phone number, go to the properties, columns, the phone number is a variable character, so it's also in quotes. So I will say just random okay, like that. So just a random number. So now a department ID, this is the ID of our actual department, which is, so this employee we are trying to create will be attached to this very department. So I'll put ID. This is the ID of our department. So if I create, let's say, let me leave it at 0. You guys will see what will happen. So if I run our script, it should be able to complain that could not add or update column row foreign key fails what? Fails, because it can't really find that department ID. So now let's now add our actual department ID. So our department ID is 1, if I may confirm and run again. So now it has created our row. If I go to the employee and go to data and refresh, so yeah, we have got our employee into our so now an issue comes in. The auto increment should this is on the configuration of database, which I will check. This shouldn't be 2, should be 1, and that's so the auto increments are running for across all the tables in the database, which is weird. I need to find out why it's that. This should also be 1 instead of. So if I try to run our script, remember we said our Gmail, so our email, sorry, employee email should be unique and shouldn't be used by any other employee. If you go back to the structure, you go to properties, where's email? Should be unique. This is a symbol for unique, the key. If I run again our script without changing anything, it should be able to fail. So yeah, so it's complaining about that the employee ID is not unique. So yeah, so that's for the employee. So now let's insert the skills. So after then we can map the employee to a skill. So let's go to a skills table and right click, go to generate query and insert. Why I'm using generate query, I'm just trying to save time, but we can still use write script manually, like insert into skill. So now I mentioned that the columns which are housed in we have got skill ID, it's auto incremented. I'm not going to do that. Then the skill, this had named it badly. I could just do this. Just update that. Just trying to update the skill description column. So that should have, okay, now that's fine. So insert into skill skill description. Is that right? Yes. Values. So which values? Remember our skill, which we said we have got the front end, back end, and full stack. So now let's do add back end development. We add also here, you can actually add multiple values, meaning multiple rows. Then we have got front end development, okay, and full stack development. Maybe I can also add DevOps as one of the skills. So now this is on this is for the skills. So I run. Do I have an issue? Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I think I made an error. These values we need to okay. So what I'd done was something wrong. This is for multiple columns. This shouldn't be like that. So let me basically show you. You put a comma, put it on new line, put a comma, and add the new skill. I just want to show you. Add okay, okay, just want to show adding multiple. This is manual. So manual, it's quite if you have multiple fields to add or multiple columns to add, it's that's why it takes so long. So I'm remaining DevOps if I'm right. Yes. So now it should be able to insert. So if you're adding multiple records, this is how you should format them. And let's run. So yeah, so we have added 4 rows, and so let's say here we had another column. Maybe I could what should I do? Skill. Maybe I can add ranking, something like that. So here we should also have maybe ranking of something like that on each. So what's the ranking level for each skill? So you have to add that extra column on each insert. So this is an independent row, an independent row, and also this is also an independent row. So that's how, if you have got multiple attributes in the same table. So now if you go to skill and go to data and refresh, so yeah, so we have now those skills inserted into our skill table. So now let's go to employee skill. So here I'm going to add another column for, go to properties. I'm going to add another column. Maybe I can put skill level of the employee. Maybe I can create it, leave it like maybe with a decimal, like skill level of 1 up to 5. Yes, 1 up to 10. Yeah, so someone can have a skill level of maybe in front end I can have maybe 4.5. in may front back end I could have 9, you know, something like that. So let me put data type as a decimal. So save to want to remove. Okay, let me just leave it there. Save that. I'm basically updating our table. So this is the code snippet on how to update the table, adding an extra column. So this is the table name, and then add it's alter table employee skill, add column, which is the column which is skill level, and the data type is decimal, and so by default it will be null, so won't have you don't have to have data for that, so I left it as null. So save. So if I refresh, so our column has already been added. So now should I leave it as a fruit? Okay, let's insert. So now if I go to our employee skill, I select it, right click, generate the query, which is for insert, copy it, go back to our script, paste it there. So the employee skill ID, that's auto incremented, we don't need that to disturb. So and remove here the values, since this is 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yes, also you can remove that. I really want to make the work much cleaner. So now our employee, if you go to our employee table and go to data, I refresh, our employee ID is 2, so we have employee with ID 2, and the skill ID, this employee we're going to give him backend and DevOps, which is ID 1 and 4. Okay, 1 and 4. So we're going to give him he's going to be backend skill level for the backend. Remember, this is which data type did we give it? I'll give it a decimal. It should maybe in the back for the backend should have maybe 5.0 skill level, and remember we said we can add multiple rows. Remember, I'm trying to add for the same employee, same ID of the employee with ID number 2. Skill level, so the skill level we are going with the DevOps, the ID is 4. We change this because the skill ID is on position number 2. Then the DevOps, maybe this guy is a very good DevOps. Yeah, so this is our script. So now I run this, it should be able to insert for us employees into with so let me refresh. So this is one employee with multiple skills. So if you want to really have a look at if we really want to have a look at so here, if I want to identify which skill is this, I can click, you see this arrow, this only appears on foreign keys. Here on the primary key, it doesn't really appear there, and also this the decimal. So this should have made it a float. That's why it's not taking in the 0 point. Okay, let me change the data type for this so that we have a look at that. I go to properties. By the way, you can also change data types as the data is still in, but remember the string, so the variable characters you cannot change. Let me make it a double. You cannot change a data type of a column or an attribute which has been a variable character to a double. Remember, strings can't really be changed to double. Yeah, so I click save. Just want to update that and refresh. So if I go to our data and see, so now so yeah, so let's see how this is. Let me close everything, close all, and go to our employee, and you see this thing, meaning it's referencing other table. So if I select this, I should be able to be linked to that very that very column with that ID, which is linking to the skills table. So now I'm going to write an SQL query to map and see if this employee, what's the name of the employee and what skills does he have. So we're going to look at this, the direct querying, like group by, all those things. So now let me go and open the last I've just gone here and opened the last edited SQL script. So I will say, so now remember, we want to see which employee is this. So now these queries, don't worry about the queries, we shall look at them. So select, so we want to see first name of the employee, last name, last name from we want to see, remember we want to see based on the employee skill. Want to see which employee has got all those skills. So the employee, so we are selecting on the employee skill, then areas that we shall have a look at this. I just want us to have a look at left join the employee table on dot employee ID, because employee ID just want to, so we shall have a look at joins later. So group by first name, group by this is employee dot okay, employee dot first name, employee dot last name. So I want to run this query and see. So now remember, we are not yet showing. We're not yet showing the skills. So I will also join the skills. Left join skills table on ID, because skill ID. Okay, so now I want to bring out the employee name, then the skill dot description. Hope it will run for us. Okay. This is I think I have an issue with with the group by. Let me see. Let me remove the group by. So I never wanted that I never wanted the user to repeat, but anyway, that's okay. So now you can see James still the same. I can concatenate. Let me see to make it concat. If I'm right, concat. Is that right? Yes. I want to concatenate the name into one. Okay. As employee, then employee name should. I want to join, make it one name. I hope it will. Concat, have I written it badly? Concat, let me see. I think just a moment, could have written it badly. Concat. Yeah, so the issue is on that shouldn't so the N was really confusing the thingy. So this is how you're able to link the employee to the skills table. So each employee should be mapped automatically. So we shall have a look at all these functions. We shall have a look at joins. We shall have a look at area sync, table names. So we shall see all these in the coming tutorial. So guys, so now this is the whole thing, how our flow has gone, and the tables are able to interconnect with one another here and there. So guys, please support the channel, subscribe, share, and click the like button. So see you in the next video. So yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.